Hello, my friends. Alina Phoenix here today, and I wanted to talk to you about something really important. So, it's a reality that our world is just filled with substances that are not creating health and well-being inside of our bodies. Hello, can I get some poison-free food, please? I'm sorry, this is America. We charge extra for that and no guarantees. So, all joking aside, this is a serious issue, and chronic illness is at an all-time high. I've been personally struggling with this for years, and I am on a recovery path. And as someone who is working to recover from conditions that I was told were completely incurable, I feel very frustrated that I can't just go shopping and trust that the things that I buy are going to actually be good for me. This is why I'm really grateful for the art of self muscle testing, which helps me to navigate this world in order to pick out the foods and beverages and other products that are actually going to be compatible with my particular body. And I can teach you how to do that. The link is in the description below. But in addition to communicating with our bodies to help us navigate the complicated and confusing world of a bazillion products and a bazillion marketing claims, it is important to understand the role of our consciousness in our well-being. Our consciousness can actually be utilized to neutralize the harmful inputs and ensure that our bodies are absorbing what is good for us and eliminating what is not. This process can be used for foods, beverages, personal care products, supplements, medications, generally anything that you're going to be putting on, in, or around your body. I'm a very health conscious person and I'm extremely picky about the things that I put in my body. I muscle test everything. If my body says no, then I just don't use it most of the time. With my muscle testing, I instruct my body to only give me a yes answer for things that are 85% good for my body or better. And for these other times that I'm going to choose to enjoy something that doesn't meet that bar and is not necessarily compatible with my body, uh, to handle that extra stuff that's going in, these are the practices that I do. So it is very cold right now, and yeah, things are a little bit chappy. So, my first recommendation is to clear and charge these substances with orgonite. This is a little coaster that I generally always have on me. It is tensor enhanced. Um, but when we clear and charge substances with orgonite, this raises the vibration of the substance and makes it easier for your body to absorb what is good and eliminate what is not. This reinforces and amplifies our consciousness work that we're about to do together. Not all orgonite on the market is created equal. The composition matters greatly, and there is a lot of very beautiful, highly decorative, but not very effective orgonite out there. Like, here's an example. This is a piece that I got years ago. It is really beautiful. Um, and it's only got an energy field of less than an inch. So it's not very effective, but I still like it because it's pretty. So ineffective orgonite will have a very low proportion of metals compared to the crystals. It'll have bigger chunks of metals and stones in it. And I would also advise against using orgonite that contains aluminum, fluorite, or other metals and stones that have substances that are considered extremely toxic to the human body. If our bodies don't tend to utilize those minerals or metals in at least trace amounts for some sort of body process, it is unlikely that amplifying those substances by including it in the orgonite will have beneficial effects on our body. Hmm. So, to be most effective, I believe that the orgonite needs to contain shungite, citrine, selenite, and copper for the greatest effectiveness. Smaller particles of the metals and crystals are going to be better. So, when you're shopping around, that's what you want to look for. When I created my own orgonite, I connected with Gaia. and I muscle tested exactly what I should put in my orgonite to make it the strongest, most effective orgonite that I could possibly create. And this channeled recipe includes not only those 4 critical ingredients, it also includes 25 other additional crushed and powdered metals and crystals. And many of my pieces are further enhanced with tensor technology or tachyon technology. So if you'd like some of my personally created orgonite pieces, please visit my website at phoenixhealingcreations.com. And I also invite you to check out the evidence and testimonials there because there's some pretty great evidence. So other high vibrations that it can accomplish the same thing of clearing and charging are, foods, beverages, etc., would include well-made tachyon devices, tensor devices, zero-point energy devices, and certain frequency generating devices. To know which one of these devices is going to work best and be most compatible with your body, I suggest muscle testing on that subject. Some tools are definitely better and more well-made than others. And with frequency generating devices, it is especially important to be cognizant of any potential stealth intentions because not every frequency healing device that has been put out there on the market or sound file that is put out as a frequency healing sound file is going to be of the highest integrity or the best effectiveness. There are people that are creating these things with intentions that might be against your particular best interests. So it's definitely important to muscle test your tools before you purchase them. And be sure to ask if all of those frequencies produced by those devices support your health and well being on every level. If the answer is no, muscle test on that. When it comes to a frequency healing or generating device, I'm extremely picky and I don't tolerate more than a 5% deviation from something that's supporting my well being. So for a frequency generating device, it's got to be 95% good for me to consider using it. So again, artofselfmuscletesting.com if you need some help learning how to do self muscle testing. While all of these tools are nice and I love them so much, it is not actually necessary to use any tools to do this process. I just like tools because they make the process less effortful and quicker. Tools exist for a reason, and the quality of the tool matters. So, sure, you can wedge a nail into the wall with your bare hands and a lot of effort, or you can use a rock to bash it, which is going to make it easier, or you can use a hammer, which is going to make it the easiest. So it's really up to you how you want to get the job done. I'm personally a fan of tools. I use them regularly. And I also recognize that they're not necessary when you know how to use focused intention on your own. So when I first started practicing, I needed the tools. I felt like I needed the tools, and they made a huge difference between using the tools and not using the tools. Now that I have been doing this every day for 5 years plus, I have so much practice doing this that I don't necessarily need to use the tools, especially when just working on myself or doing a really quick something. However, it does make it a lot easier and less effortful when I'm doing energy work on others for a 2-hour session, if I'm doing a property clearing, if I'm doing work on a group of people, like I'm going to be doing tonight, an ancestral healing, and I've currently got 43 signups. When I'm working on 43 people, yeah, I'm going to want to use the tools to make it as easy on myself as possible. Or if I'm doing an extended session on myself, if I'm, sitting down and doing a full clear out for myself and I'm spending 2 hours on my body, it's just going to make it a lot easier to maintain the focus and to move the energy when I'm utilizing those tools. But enough about the tools. Let's get to the energy work. So, your focused, pure intent is the most powerful tool of consciousness in your arsenal. And you have this available to you and at your disposal at all times. It is an act of consciousness. And it's what we call upon every time we pray, we meditate, we get into the creative zone, or we send blessings and positive energy to others. It's not mysterious. You already have tapped into this place in your own consciousness many times without realizing that that's what you're doing. And so we're going to make this a more conscious practice today. So these practices that I do are heavily inspired by the work of Cryon and Lee Carroll, as well as Matt Kahn and Peggy Phoenix Dubrow. I've kind of put together all of these inspirations into something that is a little bit more uniquely my own, but I am going to include a link to my favorite teachers down in the description box if you'd like to check them out. And I highly encourage you to because I just love them so much and they've helped me so greatly. So, affirmations are a wonderful way to utilize our focused, pure intent. And that's how we're going to utilize it right now. For affirmations to be the most effective, they need to resonate with truth inside of your own being. And so, if you're going to do these affirmations with me and any part of you gives resistance, resistance is not wrong. It just means it's not familiar to you and your subconscious is not able to accept it because it's not familiar and it goes against what you're familiar with. That internal, "Oh, this is bullpucky, and I don't believe that." That's kind of that's a feeling of resistance. If you get any of those resistances inside of you, then I would encourage you to take these statements and adjust them to eliminate those resistances and align them with truth for yourself. For example, you can take an "I am" statement, and change it to a "may I" statement to make it more believable for yourself. So I can say, I am deeply in love with every cell of my being. I can say that now at this point in time, but there is almost because I haven't been working with that statement very much, there is still a little bit of resistance inside of me. And so instead I might say, may I be deeply in love with every single cell of my body. And the beautiful thing about this is when we're doing that, we're directing that to the universe, to our spirit, to God. And the universe always says yes. So this is a lovely hack to adjust those affirmations when we need to do it. Other phrases that we can use to adjust an affirmation can be I choose to, I am open to, I give permission for. And you will see some of these phrases used in the affirmations that we are about to do. However, if any of these affirmations is not quite right for you, honor that. Honor yourself and use them as inspiration to craft your own affirmations that resonate with the truth inside of your own being. So, the first part of this is a general affirmation statement that's going to help you move your body into more balance with what is good for you and eliminate what is bad for you in accordance with your own inner wisdom. So, please affirm with me, and I invite you to say these statements out loud. Dear my body, my cellular structure, my physical being, my cells, my DNA, the entirety of my being, listen up. I am the boss of my body, and I command you to take instruction. I love you. If a substance is good for me, let me know. Make me crave it. Make me want it. Make it taste good. Make it attractive. I give permission for this signal to be strong enough to get my attention every day. I choose to pay attention to the signals my body is giving me. If a substance is not good for me, let me know. Make it repugnant, make it repellent, make it taste bad, make it ugly in my perception. I give permission for this signal to be strong enough to get my attention every day, and I choose to pay attention to the signals my body is giving me. Let nothing inappropriate become part of my sacred biology. I give instruction for all inappropriate things that interfere with my well being that are already inside my sacred body now, to now be passed from my body through its normal elimination channels with ease and grace in a way that is safe, gradual, and comfortable for my well being. May this elimination occur at an increasing rate as my tolerance for this elimination increases and my body strengthens. I instruct my body to capture all the good things and only the good things from that which I eat, drink, or consume in any manner. Incorporate all the good things that enhance my wellness, enhance my strength, enhance my beauty, and enhance my function. Anything I consume that is not compatible with my wellness is passed harmlessly through my elimination systems with ease and grace. I celebrate my ability to create a body that reflects my divinity and magnificence as a piece of the divine creator. I choose to consciously strengthen my immune system, strengthen my elimination system, strengthen my discernment in all things. I give permission for my divine discernment to be activated and to strengthen. I give permission for my discernment to overcome any beliefs or resistances I may have to the truth. I command my body and my consciousness to accept only truth and reject falsehood, no matter what my previous thoughts and beliefs may have been. I honor truth, for truth honors my magnificence as part of divine creation. I instruct my body to youthen, to be healed, to be strong, to be flexible, to be resilient. I instruct my body to count only every other day. I instruct my telomeres to heal, lengthen, and strengthen. I instruct my DNA to revert to its pure form, original soul blueprint, activated for my highest wellness, greatest balance, and benevolence. I recognize the sacredness of my physical being. I am sorry, my body, for every thought, word, or action I have ever done that has diminished my physical being or acted as if it is not sacred. Please forgive me, my body, for all of my actions, past, present, or future, that has not reflected my magnificent sacredness. I love you, my body. I love you, my body. I love you, my body. Thank you so much for being the vessel of my consciousness and allowing me to experience the beauty that is life. Thank you, my body, for being my partner in this journey. Thank you, my body, for carrying out these commands of my pure intent. And so it is. I hope you can feel how powerful that is inside of you. And thank you so much for choosing to affirm with me on behalf of your own health and well-being. Now we're going to do a much shorter activation that you can memorize and use as a blessing before the consumption of anything. It is actually proven that when we say grace or do a prayer and a blessing before we eat something, that actually our body digests it better, absorbs it better, and our health is enhanced. And so this is just a variation of that concept. So before consuming anything, I like to say, "Dear my body, my cellular structure, listen up. I love you. I command you to only absorb what is good for me and enhances my magnificence. I command you to easily and gracefully eliminate all that does not enhance my wellness and magnificence. Thank you, And I am so grateful for your beautiful and perfect execution of this command. And so it is. That one is much shorter and is a lot easier to do, especially on the go. And there's another shortcut. You can actually program crystal, or you can program a piece of orgonite or a tensor ring, or this one's tachyon technology. You can program a piece like that and carry it with you. And instead of saying that intention every time, you can actually just take it out and then place it on your substance, whatever it is that you are about to eat and drink, for about 5 seconds. And it accomplishes the same thing. It reactivates that intention as a shortcut. And so basically, I just do that on a regular basis. And I'm going to show you how I program my orgonite. This is one that I typically carry with me in my bra or pocket, depending on the day. And so to program that piece, whether it's an orgonite, a crystal, whatever, I would say, hold them in between my hands, and I would say, I program this piece to contain the instruction to be activated anytime I consume anything. Dear my body, my cellular structure, listen up. I command you to absorb only what is good for me and enhances my magnificence. I command you to easily and gracefully eliminate all that does not enhance my wellness and magnificence. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for your beautiful and perfect execution of this command. And so it is. That's it. So it's basically just putting that statement in there. You can do that with the full statement that we did earlier. You can do this with whatever intentions that you want to consume and carry with you on a daily basis. So that's my shortcut for really just being able to navigate the world much more easily and with a lot more comfort and greater and increasing health. I hope that this is a practice that you will incorporate into your life to enhance your own wellness and to make it easier to navigate this complicated world of eat this, don't eat, and all of the confusing claims that are constantly changing. Your body knows what is good for you. And if you give it the ability to communicate with you, it will. So partnering with our bodies via self-muscle testing and using our focused, pure intent to give our bodies command are some of the ways that we can keep ourselves well in this highly toxic world. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we will still experience health issues that require interventions like surgical procedures from minor to major. Or you simply may choose to get some sort of health enhancement like a tattoo or cosmetic procedure that is an enhancement to your well-being. In the event that there will be another individual who is utilizing things like knives, needles, lasers, or other tools to make modifications to your physical body, you can use your consciousness to promote maximum effectiveness of the procedure and reduce healing time in advance of these procedures if you know that they're coming. And if you're conscious and able to, you can even use this in an emergency situation for yourself. Or for emergency situations, you can set up ahead of time with a loved one to do a procedure like this on your behalf. So, first thing, if you know that you're going into procedure or you're experiencing an emergency situation, ask for prayers and positive energy from others. Prayers and positive healing energy that is sent to you by others is received, and it assists with producing the most optimal outcomes. The power of prayer is very real, and it is wise to ask for this power to be utilized on our behalf when we need it. Secondly, you can use your consciousness to posture yourself for a cooperative experience with the procedure and set yourself up for the most optimal outcome and shortest possible healing trajectory. I encourage you to look up Lee Carroll's experience with heart surgery, as this is my main inspiration for this next statement. And it's the one that I just used yesterday before I got some more tattoo work done. So the link to that video of Lee's is actually going to be in the description below. And here is the statement that I would encourage you to use. Dear my body, my cellular structure, I love you and I ask you to listen up. We are about to have an intervention that will feel like an invader. This is an enhancement of our body, and I ask that you cooperate with this intervention for our greatest well-being. Welcome the invader. Love it, and do not resist. I have given permission for this intervention, and it is for our benevolence. I ask that we absorb and integrate all that is for our benevolence. And if there happens to be a substance that is not in alignment with our magnificence, I ask that it be eliminated through our normal elimination channels with ease, grace. I thank you, my body, for listening to me and cooperating with this enhancement. I am so grateful. I love you so much. So that's the statement. And when you are going into a procedure of any kind, it is best to do this statement multiple times out loud to yourself, at least once per day for as many days as you can before the procedure. As your body and your cells become more used to you communicating in this way, such frequent practice won't be as necessary. However, sending our body more love and instructions than necessary can only enhance your experience. And you deserve the most optimal possible outcome that you can get. If you are perchance doing this statement on behalf of someone else, speak to them using their name. Dear name's body, name's cellular structure, and then do the remainder of the statement using the word we instead of I. This works best with the other person's prior consent and cooperation. However, it also counts as an incredibly powerful prayer intervention, even without their permission. You're just sending them benevolent energy, and this can enhance their possibilities of experiencing the most optimal outcome. So I also want to touch on the idea of most optimal outcome, because most optimal outcome doesn't always look the way that we expect. But we do need to trust in the grander plan that our spirit has for us, that whatever outcome that happens is indeed for the most optimal outcome for that person's spirit, their growth, their benevolence. Because the universe is actually biased in benevolence, even though it doesn't always seem that way. We just don't often see the blessings in a challenge until we look back on it. Like for me, thank God I almost died. Thank God I became so physically ill that I nearly died, because if I hadn't walked all the way up to death's doorstep and had a look and said, nope, not for me, I choose healing instead, I would never have turned around and become the healer that I have become today. I would not have facilitated such amazing experiences for so many people. And I have over 1,700 people on my rosters at this point. And that number is only going to increase, for I intend to help as many people as possible for as long as I can. And I am never again going to do anything to consciously harm or reduce my life ever for as long as I am on this planet. I choose to be here. And I never would have made that decision if all of the things that had happened to me had not happened to me. So even though I can tell you stories, tell you so many stories, and people are like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That had to be horrible and traumatic and awful. And yeah, it definitely was horrible and traumatic and awful at the time. And I can look back on it now and see that it was a blessing pushing me to my most optimal growth and outcome, which I still haven't entirely realized yet, but I can see that even those things too were a blessing in my life. So sometimes because of our programming on the inside, we can have a difficult time with these practices. And I know this from my own personal experience, because learning how to practice this was hard for me. So many of us, and myself included, struggle with that self love, self honoring. We may suffer from thoughts and beliefs that include self abuse, self hatred, self criticism, self destruction, self abandonment. I've dealt with every single one of those. I've been learning to overcome every single one of those. And to reach the deepest possible levels of healing, these programs must be rooted out and replaced with self respect, self honor, self care, and self love. As someone who is walking this path, I can tell you that it is not always necessarily easy. However, it is so possible and so worth it. I am grateful to be able to say that I love my body now. I love my life now. I love myself now. And I am deepening this relationship more every day as I continue to practice affirmations, to explore the powers of consciousness, and to deepen my relationship with the divinity that is part of us and created us all, myself included, you included. None of us is separate. If you are someone who is struggling in those areas and you need some help with connecting with yourself, releasing some of these self-destructive patterns, encouraging your body to move towards greater balance and wellness, to release limiting beliefs that may be preventing you from best utilizing these tools, please reach out. As an emotion code, body code, belief code practitioner, many other certifications included, I can assist you with releasing trapped energies and imbalances that you might have interfering with your wellness and balance, and to help you reprogram your beliefs so that you can experience greater levels of balance, self love, self honor, and well being inside of your own life. I do guarantee that what I find will be relevant, or I don't want your money. I don't want your money if I'm not helping you. I consider it a sacred honor to be part of your healing journey. And so the last thing I'd like to do is just send you some blessings, blessings of health, balance, discernment, wellness, peace, happiness, and abundance to every single person. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'm Alina Phoenix. It has been a blessing and an honor to be part of your healing journey in this way. And if I may be of more personal assistance, I encourage you to go to my website, phoenixhealingcreations.com, and make an appointment. So many blessings to you, my dear friends. Thank you.